Money and power, the extractive economics of investor-owned utilities that are driving the climate crisis and delaying the transition to a just and equitable energy system. Hi, my name is Crystal Huang, and I'm a co-founder and worker owner at People Power Solar Cooperative. Like our friends at Movement Generation say, if you want to understand the climate crisis, you can't look up at the atmosphere and count carbon. You have to look down at the economy. So let's get started. Our energy system today is nested within the extractive economy. So in this video, I'm going to focus on two elements of this economy: the infrastructure that is the backbone of resource extraction in the dig, burn, dump cycle, and the utility profit models that enclose the wealth and power generated by this economy. The system begins with extraction, seen here as an oil drill and flare where water and chemicals are pumped into the earth to extract fossil fuels. Those fossil fuels are then transported by pipelines, trucks, or rails to be burned at large power plants, releasing the greenhouse gases that are warming our planet's atmosphere. And to reach the homes and buildings where the power is used, high voltage transmission lines carry the power hundreds to thousands of miles. When those power lines overheat due to power surges, heat waves, and aging infrastructure, they sag and spark, igniting wildfires. And after all of that, the power is finally distributed through distribution lines that deliver the electricity to our homes. The purpose of this system is the enclosure of wealth and power. In California, this is done in two primary ways. Number one, the centralization of the energy infrastructure. And number two, the monopolization of the investor-owned utility, also known as the IOUs, who are given the power to run and operate the system just for profit. As a result, we bear the brunt of the system that is inefficient because electricity has to travel long distances between where it's produced and where it's used, overpriced because massive centralized infrastructure is expensive to build, operate, and maintain, and unreliable because in many cases, the infrastructure is nearly 100 years old and was not designed to withstand increasingly extreme weather. Despite being inefficient, overpriced, and unreliable, the utilities' profit model rewards them for building even more centralized energy infrastructure and making us pay for it. This is because energy policy in California calculates utility profits in relation to how much infrastructure they build. The more centralized energy infrastructure that the utility builds, the more money they make. This is why utilities are opposed to people producing our own power. It directly threatens their bottom line. This is also why utilities are fighting to weaken policies put in place to support distributed energy resources. In California, that policy is net energy metering, which pays people who have solar for the power they generate and sends back to the grid for everyone to use. It's like a clean power plant on your roof. Net energy metering has played an important role in meeting our climate goals because when more people can generate the power they need, where they need it, rather than hundreds of miles away, the cost of electricity is more affordable for everyone, and the risk of wildfire is reduced. And because more people have purchased solar as a result of net energy metering, the price to install solar system is lower than it has ever been, making it more affordable for more people to go solar. And so here lies the threat to utilities, because when we can afford to generate our own power locally, the IOUs can no longer justify the cost of building the centralized energy infrastructure that guarantee their profit. Yet, regardless of many modifications made to net energy metering since it was adopted in 1996, solar energy systems remain too expensive for communities who have been disproportionately harmed by the pollution and wildfires caused by the utilities. Similarly, since building local solar remained largely limited to small individual households deciding for themselves, people who don't use a lot of power but would benefit from the savings still can't justify the high upfront cost of installing solar. This is why the majority of solar homeowners today are people with pre-existing wealth, thus deepening the inequitable enclosure of wealth and power, including access to solar power. Now, rather than implementing policy that expand access to solar energy, the IOUs are exploiting the inequities created by their extractive system by spending millions on lobbying and misinformation campaigns that see confusion and division in our communities. IOUs keep us captive to their rate hikes, leaving us pay the highest prices in the country for infrastructure that's starting deadly fires across the state. But to interrupt the cycle of extraction and redistribute wealth, we must come together to co-govern our energy system. In other words, we need models that create opportunities for our communities to share wealth together in order to activate the transition to a regenerative energy economy. Here at People Power Solar Cooperative, we believe that net energy metering can be a tool for a just transition by redistributing wealth and local energy resources to communities who need them the most. Join the movement to put power back in the hands of the people. It's time to transition from an extractive energy economy owned by the 1% to a regenerative energy economy that's decentralized, distributed, and democratized by the people, for the people. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, share, and subscribe. We will be creating more videos like this to help you understand our energy economy and how to change it.